Breaking news coming in this morning. Indian forces have retaliated after the relentless ceasefire violations by Pakistan. The Border Security Force carried out massive retaliatory attacks along the 200-kilometer long international border with Pakistan. The BSF offensive has reportedly destroyed at least 2 crucial Pakistani border posts. 10 to 15 casualties have been reported from Pakistan. 40 Pakistani posts that were targeting BSF posts have been hit. Director General of the Border Security Forces camping in Jammu, D.K. Pathak, is understood to have been present in the Joint Ops room and was in touch with the army through the night. Let's get a word from our Strategic Affairs Editor Gaurav Sawant, who's with us on the phone line. Gaurav, the direction to the army by the government is clear that India won't take things lying down anymore.
And there was targeted retaliatory strikes on Pakistani security forces. Unlike Pakistan, India did not target civilian concentrations and civilian villages in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and along the international border. From what our sources in the government are telling us, and these are updates that are coming to both the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Defence at an hourly basis, the Indian Army and the BSF responded to Pakistani strikes by targeting Pakistani gun positions. And intelligence sources seem to indicate that casualties on Pakistani sides are between 10 to 15 fatal casualties and at least another 10 to 15 non-fatal casualties, mostly of soldiers and civilians working with soldiers at these posts that were targeting Indian villages. So whatever guns were targeting Indian villages, an attempt was made to silence them last night in retaliatory strikes, and some of the firing is still on in some areas.
Gaurav, stay on with us. We're also being joined by Ashwini Kumar on the phone line from Jammu. Ashwini, overnight firing reported by both sides along the international border. We believe that D.K. Pathak, the Director General of the Border Security Force, is also camping in Jammu and is overseeing operations.
Yeah, since last night, 3 persons were injured in the Pakistani firing, including one assistant sub-inspector of BSF, and they have been admitted to the hospital. The BSF DG D.K. Pathak, who was camping for 2 days in Jammu. Yesterday, he reached back to the Delhi and he briefed the Home Minister about the situation on the borders and how the Pakistani is firing unprovoked firing on the international border. Around 50 to 60 BSF posts were engaged since last night, and new thing is that this firing is spreading towards Kathua also. Yesterday, the Kathua and Sam area was also involved, and still the intermediate firing is still going on from Paharpur post of BSF in the Kathua area to Akhur area, and firing is still continuing. Yeah.
Right, Ashwini, stay on with us. Gaurav Sawant, the Strategic Affairs Editor, is with us on the phone line as well. Gaurav, when was the last time we saw such build-up along the border?
Since 2003, Simi, when the Ramzan ceasefire that Pakistan requested and India agreed, since 2003 the borders have been quiet, and at times the ceasefire did fray, but it was always restricted. This time, ever since Nawaz Sharif, Pakistan's Prime Minister, spoke at the UN General Assembly trying to draw international attention towards the Jammu and Kashmir dispute, and having failed to do so, the Pakistan army has been trying to up the ante, and that's when they started targeting civilian areas so that international attention could be drawn. With the new dispensation, as you heard Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, yesterday, he said Pakistan should realize that the government has changed, and now every time there's a ceasefire violation, it will be responded to adequately. That response is what we've seen last night. But again, from what my sources tell me, it was restrained and focusing clearly and solely on guns that were aimed at India and targeting civilian areas. Those guns were silenced last night. But unfortunately, we do expect a spike, not just along the international border, but south of Pir Panjal, in Poonch, Mender, Krishna Ghati areas. God willing, it will remain peaceful north of Pir Panjal. And of course, the Siachen Glacier and all have been completely silent since 2003.
Gaurav, thanks so much for putting these ceasefire violations and violent clashes along the border in perspective for us. We'll keep coming back to you for more in the day. Meanwhile, the Indian action after Defence Minister Arun Jaitley's meeting with Defence Services Chief. The message that's been sent out is extremely clear that India will no longer take Pakistani aggression lying down. The army has been given the liberty to act in whatever manner it deems necessary to contain the situation. But at the same time, orders have been issued not to escalate the situation but silence Pakistan. More border patrols along the LoC have been ordered to ensure zero infiltration from the Pakistani side. Our Deputy Editor Shiv Arur is with us live this morning. Shiv, the new government sending out a clear signal to the army saying that India will not take things lying down, and the army has been asked to act in whatever manner it deems fit.
Well, yes, our sources tell us that a very clear message has been sent down by the government leadership to the armed forces, specifically the army that's engaged directly with its counterpart across the line of control. A clear message, action and a retaliation that will silence Pakistan, but also a specific message not to actually escalate the violence that's already there right now. Remember that there have been almost ceaseless ceasefire violations along the line of control and the international border, but the army has been told, we can't confirm about the BSF, but we can confirm that the army has been told to contain Pakistan as much as possible at this time, but specifically not to escalate the situation, not to use heavier caliber weapons.